Hello and welcome to Financial Abundance. This is the course all about living a life you love while saving for your future. Yes, it's possible. Yes, we're going to get into a lot of details about finances in the United States. You're going to learn how possible this is for you. So let's get started. Today, we are talking about goal setting and budgeting basics. So if you are here in this class, you are in class number 1 at the very beginning of your journey. Thank you for being here. We're going to go through 7 different classes. Don't worry, I'm sure you know what's coming up. And if you don't, go ahead and look at your financial abundance workbook, and that'll give you the class schedule. My name is Catherine Vanderlaan. I am a career coach, a financial coach, and a financial educator, as you can probably tell. I have a degree in neuropsychology and a couple certifications in financial education. In short, I help people make more money, save more money, and then kind of know what to do with it after it's been saved. Let's get started. Today, we're talking about goal setting and budgeting basics. I work with a lot of people on a one-on-one and group basis, and people come to me all the time and say, I've tried budgeting and it doesn't work for me. I've tried it all. I've tried all the tracking apps. I have tried writing down everything that I spend, but I cannot ever seem to get ahead. Well, let me tell you, we're going to start this a little bit of a different way. We are going to start with the direction that you take. But I talk to a lot of people who go down what I call Spender Street. Now, I went down this path too, so don't feel like you're being judged. I went pretty far down this path before I turned around and went backwards. I got student loans like a lot of people in my generation, got my first credit card as soon as I could. And then after I graduated from college, I got a car loan. I'll talk more about that later. This is the general path that I see people take. After that car loan and after they get a great job and can afford it, they buy a house and get a mortgage. And then after that, consolidate their credit cards and whatever debt they have outside their mortgage into a personal loan. Most of the time, after getting a personal loan, those credit cards don't disappear, they pile up again. This is what I affectionately call Spender Street. It is the path, the direction of a spender. Let me give you an alternative. And let me also tell you that you can turn around Spender Street anywhere. You can turn around and go the opposite direction. So let me tell you what your other option is here. Oh, actually, before I tell you, let's get into some of these numbers. Now, these were averages in, I think, 2023. So the average credit card, the average car loan, the average mortgage, the average personal loan monthly payment, the average student loan monthly payments, these are all monthly payments. And they add up to, outside of the mortgage, they add up to $1,534 extra in their monthly budget. I'll tell you, I've seen a lot worse and I've seen better. But this is the average in the United States of America as of 2023. Alternatively, Saver Street starts in about the same place. Maybe you get an education without loans. Maybe you then get a mortgage after you've gotten a job and you don't have this $1,534 extra weighing you down on a monthly basis. You can buy a car with cash. You can get a mortgage. I really wish I had. Then, because you don't have credit card payments, because you don't have that car loan weighing you down, you can take a pretty nice vacation, pay for it all in cash. I've done a few now since reversing direction, and you can too. Then, at the end of Saver Street, you retire well with confidence, knowing that you have saved enough for retirement, you've invested enough, okay? So we'll get into that in another class. You have done everything you possibly can to build a life that you love and save enough for your future. So those going down Saver Street tend to have really nice retirements and tend to enjoy their life while they're getting there. So let me tell you, the direction you take your life depends on the vision you create and the goals you track. If you are taking notes right now in the Financial Abundance Workbook, you're going to notice a few things on the screen and a few things in the workbook that have fill in the blanks. So if you see that vision in all caps, go ahead and fill in the blank in your notebook. Please follow along in your notebook. So let me say that one more time. The direction you take your life depends on the vision you create. So where you want to go, and the goals you track. We're going to talk about that too. But before we talk about that, would you rather go down Saver Street or Spender Street? That's really up to you. Okay, let's transition a little bit here to building your vision. Now, a vision, and you'll see this in your workbook, a vision needs to be something that really inspires you. It needs to be something that you want to get to. Because if you don't want to get to it, and if you really don't believe it, you're not going to plot your path. You're not going to create the steps, the goals that will take you to your vision. Finances are just a way to get you to where you want to be in life. So we're going to talk about that vision right now. And you're going to see in your workbook that there is a spot for you to create your vision here. We'll give you about 5 minutes during class time to create your vision in a moment. But let me explain it here a little bit more. A vision needs to have all 5 senses. You need to be able to see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, and touch it. Weird, right? Okay, no, I have these discussions all the time. Seeing and hearing, not a big deal. Smelling it, some people smell the ocean. Some people smell fresh baked cookies. Some people smell their grandmother's house. Some people smell uh, a, a newborn baby's head and holding their grandchildren as they get older. It really depends on what you are trying to build. And taste. What is your favorite food? Go ahead and think about the time that you were able to celebrate your life and get the best tasting food you've ever had in your life. Put that as part of your vision. And now look at your hand. Look at your hand. Imagine that 10 years from now, what's around it? What do you see around that hand? What are you hearing right now? What is filling your life? If you could do all the things that got you there, let's take away all the ifs and the buts. Let's take away all the I can't do it. We're going to talk about that in another class too. In a realistic way, don't worry. What are you seeing around your hand 10 years from now, 20 years from now? What are you hearing? And now put that hand on something. What are you touching? That's the vision you need to create. Something came to mind. You want to be somewhere with some people. You want to have some sort of freedom. You want to have some life that you're building. That is your vision. You can't plot your path if you don't know your destination. So let's build that vision right now. Build a vision that you can feel. Where would you like to be in 10, 20 years? Go for 20 years, okay? Your choice. Where would you like to be in 10 or 20 years? You have 5 minutes to create that vision right in your workbook right now. All right, welcome back. Now it is time to plot your path. It's time to make some goals. One of the very first goals that I talk to people about, and we're going to get there in a moment, is creating an emergency fund. So let's rapid fire down in your notebook right now. Write down the goals that are going to get you to your vision. Maybe it's an emergency fund, maybe it's being debt free, maybe it's buying a house, maybe it's retiring well or at the beach, maybe it's having a baby. I've heard that a lot. Maybe it's going on a grand vacation, or maybe it's investing more so that you can take care of your family, so you can take care of yourself. Whatever those goals are, write down the financial goals that will get you to your vision. I'll give you maybe 3 minutes to write down those financial goals right now. Now let's go through a framework. You have a choice. Pick one. In your workbook, there are the steps to financial freedom and there are the steps to financial abundance. I have had so many discussions about what is the best flow for getting to your vision. That it honestly pick one. Pick one. It really doesn't matter. They're a little bit different. They're not that much different. This is an amazing flow for getting you to your vision. So step 0 is catch up on essential bills. Now you should be taking a ton of notes in your workbook. Please do that. Step 1 is save up a $2,500 starter emergency fund. 2 is pay off all high interest consumer debt. 3 is save up a 4 to 6 month emergency fund. 4 is save 20% of your income for retirement. 5 and 6 are optional. 5 is save for your kids' college education. 6 is pay off your home. And 7 is be incredibly generous while living within your means. If you're behind on your bills, mortgage or rent, utilities, internet, whatever it is, then you are on step 0. And that's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. I'll tell you my story in a moment. Believe me, I've been on step 0. If you are up to date on your bills, but you don't have $2,500 stashed away in case of an emergency, then you're on step 1. And I mean stashed away in a savings account, away from your checking account, somewhere where you can't access it all the time. That's step 1. Save that $2,500 starter emergency fund. We'll get to tactics soon. Why $2,500? A lot of people ask me that. Why $2,500? It's usually enough to cover rent or food for a month or a car breakdown or a medical emergency, assuming you have insurance these days. That's why it's $2,500, because you should not, if you are trying to live the financial abundant principles, if you are trying to get to the vision that you're setting, you need to stop putting your emergencies on credit cards, because they are charging you way too much money for the privilege of using their money. It is robbing you of your future. So save up your emergency fund so that you are not being robbed of your future. Okay, now we're going to go to your second option here. There's the steps to financial freedom. Let's talk about the steps to financial abundance. So, okay, if everybody's really paying attention, I'm now seeing a bunch of heads turn sideways, trying to read this. Don't worry about it. Here it is normally on the screen. Your steps to financial abundance are going to look very similar. I like this one better. I do. So if you pick this one, great. If it doesn't work for you, then pick the other one. Just choose. Steps to financial abundance are: number 1, build a starter emergency fund, $2,500. Sound familiar? Step 2, invest up to your 401k or 403b match. So a lot of different companies, nonprofits, government entities. This is also a 557 or a 457, a TSP. Most of them have the same or very, very similar guidelines and principles. So this is invest up to your match. All of that is either a 50 or 100% return. That is free money. Invest up to that so that you get that match. Okay. Step number 3, pay off all of your high interest debt. I define that as over 5% APR. Now, this does not count your mortgage if you have a mortgage that is over 5%, which we're seeing a lot of right now. Step number 4, build a 6-month emergency fund. We've all gone through the COVID epidemic, and some of us, it keeps coming back. But we've found that 3 months isn't enough. 4 months might be just enough. 6 months makes the few of us that are very risk averse, or the few of us that saw the worst of it, feel a lot better and a lot more confident about the next step. So I've revised, I say build a 6-month emergency fund. It's going to help you a lot. Then 5 is max out your IRA. If you don't know what that is, join the investing class. Step 6 is max out your 401k or 403b, also the 457 and the TSP. Step 7, max out your HSA. If you don't know what that is, join the insurance class. Step 8, start a side hustle and max out your SEP or solo 401k. Excellent, so good. And step number 9 is build wealth in a brokerage account. All right, that was a lot of information. I want you to know that your steps can look different. That really, it's okay. If your steps look different and you are building your life, you're investing, you're saving, you're getting out of debt, you are intentionally managing your money to get to your vision and you have good advice, you know that what you're doing is going to get you there, that's okay. I've worked with plenty of people who change the order a little bit or insert a step. Notice I didn't have buy a home in there, put it somewhere. That's okay. What you need to do is commit. Commit, stay focused, and stay accountable to your wise financial goals, and you'll get there. So pick the method that works for you and stick to it. You need to stick to it. That's the biggest thing. Stick to your goals. Stay laser focused. Anybody who's been with me in coaching knows that I champion staying laser focused on your financial goals, one goal at a time, and you can get through all of them. If you try to do everything at once, and I venture to guess, I shouldn't be pointing, but I venture to guess some of us have tried doing all of these goals at the same time. How well does that work? Unless you're being paid like $400,000, $500,000 a year, you can't do it all at the same time. So and very few of us are paid that much. So let's stick to the method and do one goal at a time. Okay, go back to your workbook. I hope you've been taking notes. Go back to your workbook and circle it in your workbook. Circle the step you're on, circle the method that you're going to use. You will have time, and you do have time, especially after this, to go through and figure out what you want your steps to be. Let's move on and talk about budgeting. Budgeting has a bad rap. I call it the bad B word. Some of you have something else in mind when I say the bad B word. The people I work with think budgeting is a bad word. Budgeting is not your problem, because budgeting is just understanding where your money is going, looking at reality in the eye, then making a plan for your money to get to where you want to be. That's it. It is seeing where your money is going now and making a plan so that you can get to where you want to be. So why budgeting? Why budgeting? If you don't know where your money is going now, how will you know what to change so you can get to your goals? This is all about money management, is just about decision making. It's about decision making and following through on it. And so you need to know what decisions you're already making without thinking about it so that you know what to change. Let me tell you how I learned about budgeting. And this is a really personal story. So when I had just graduated from college, I was renting out a room in a parsonage of a church. I was the first person in my immediate family to graduate from college. It was a really big deal. My parents were really proud of me. I didn't tell them how much I was earning in my first full-time big girl job, the job that started my career. They also said, hey, that car that we lent you, we have to give it to your sister, and you need to get your own car. So like a big girl, I put on my big girl pants and I went down to the car dealership with my parents. I got a car loan for $27,000. And what I haven't told you yet is that I had student loans roughly around $35,000, $36,000 at the time. Okay. Those hadn't come due yet. There was that 6-month, I think it still exists, that 6-month grace period in student loans where you don't make a payment until 6 months after you graduate. So I was in that grace period. I was feeling really good about myself. First one to graduate college in my immediate family. First one to get a big girl job, and for my siblings and I, there's a lot of us. And I bought a brand new car. Well, the month after I bought that brand new car, all of my bills came due. My student loans started, my car notes started, and I found that I had between $10 and $20 a week to feed myself. That's it. That was all of my fun too. So I sat there and I thought about my life. I thought about the decisions I had made. Kind of regretted it a little bit, if I'm honest, and wondered what I was going to do to survive. One while I was at work, an email went around. I had this friend group. I was really excited. I think it was a book club or Bible study or something, but we were getting together for a potluck. An email went around to sign up for things. The host was doing the main dish. People were bringing drinks and ice and different things. And the only thing, by the time I got back from work, the only thing left to sign up for was a fruit salad. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't put crap in my fruit salads. I don't put apples in my fruit salads. I don't put oranges in my fruit salads. I make them real good. I pride myself on my fruit salads. And if I can't make that good of a fruit salad, I'm not going to make it at all. At that time, I was making $31,000 a year. I had about and a little bit over $60,000 in debt that I was making payments on. It was too much. It was too much. I only had that $10 to $20 per week to feed myself and maybe go out and have fun. I used to love to dance. And I couldn't afford the fruit salad. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to feed myself for the whole week if I made that fruit salad. So I sent an email back, and I did something I probably, and to this day, I regret. I emailed and said, "I'm so sorry. I can't make it. Have fun without me. I'll see you next time." And then I sat down on my bed and I cried because I knew where I was. I knew that I had a credit card I had to pay off. I knew that I couldn't do this. I knew I needed a plan for my money. And it was hard. I was saying no to my friends. I couldn't see my friends. I felt like there was nothing that I could do to make this right. After I had a good cry, which you'll see still affects me today, I prayed and I asked God for help. And then I went to bed. I don't know about you, but after a good cry, I sleep really well. So the very next morning, I got up and I said, I need to look at these numbers. I'm good with numbers. I can do this. We're going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. So I sat down. I wrote everything out. I saw that $10 or $20 and I prayed over it and said, what do I need to do? So I found a second job. I started making a little bit more money. But what I didn't do was increase any fun. I stopped seeing my friends as much because I was so focused on paying down debt that it just took over my life. Let me be a warning to you. I'm going to go through another story at another time. That's not okay. You should see your friends. You should take care of your mental health. You should take care of your physical health. You need to find an option that takes care of you as a whole person. I didn't do that and it hurt me and still affects me to this day. But just know I learned how to budget by getting to a very, very low part in my life and then figuring out what the number said to me, what my options were, and then staying laser focused on my next goal. So I paid off the credit cards and I remember the day I paid off my Perkins student loan. I did a little dance in the kitchen. I maybe made some cupcakes. It was really exciting. So let's get into what I found out were the steps to budgeting, because this is not like what most people tell you. But most people will say budgeting is just putting a bunch of numbers on a sheet and hoping that you follow your own directions. That's not the case. There are 3 steps to budgeting. Well, step number 1 is review what you spent last month. Look reality in the eye. Step number 2, and this is in your workbook, write it down, is decide what you want to spend this month. Decide, make a decision. Step number 3 is review your decisions against your goals. That's why you had your vision created. That's why you plotted your path. You need to review your decisions against your goals. So in short, the steps to budgeting are review, decide, review. Review what you spent last month, decide what you want to spend this month, and review your decisions against your goals. Okay, let's talk about fun money. There's this grand fun money debate. I have it every single time that I work with a new client. When people start budgeting, the fun money category tends to go one of two ways. Either they trim nearly everything out of fun money, like I did, or they keep nearly everything in fun money. Neither way works. Neither way works. And if you're here with your spouse and you guys are saying, oh, yeah, see, I told you we need to budget. See, we need to trim everything out, you're wrong. And if you're here with your spouse and you're saying, see, we need to budget, but I really need all of the stuff that I spend on myself every month or spend for our kids or spend for our family, and we need to keep having all of this fun, think again. Have you ever been on a diet and tried to cut out everything you enjoyed? Everything. I'm talking everything you enjoyed. Yeah, it didn't work, did it? Budgeting is like dieting. It is not about depriving yourself, but it's about giving yourself better options. Better options. I won't go into I once lost 60 pounds. I've put very few of it back on. And it's not about cutting everything you love out of your life. It is about giving yourself better options. So fun money is just like that. You need to decide how much you're going to spend and save for fun activities, okay? That is the key to successful budgeting. Now you get to the most fun part, which is budgeting. In your workbook, you're going to find a medium difficult case study, okay? It's not going to be super easy. It's extremely realistic. This is modeled after many people that I've worked with in the past who come to me. Go ahead and read it, break up into groups, let your facilitator guide you in this one. But now let's apply everything you just learned to the budget case study in your workbook. Let's budget.